Is that a monk with a cup of tea? Don't do it, cat. Got so much to live for. I'm surprised there's no railings or anything. Whoa, it's close enough. Just have a look at that. I really feel like we've hit the jackpot with this place. It's off season. I think we're the only people staying in the entire place. It's so old, quaint, oozes character. It's absolutely brilliant. So happy with the room. Have a look. So vintage, proper retro, everything. Lovely big bed, farmyards, and boom shakalaka. I mean, what more can you ask for? Bit of sun wouldn't go amiss, having said that. Weather's set to improve tomorrow. But I tell you, for £20 a night again, this will take some topping. All we need to do now is look at the map and figure out which monasteries to do on which days, because we don't want to rush into that and mess it up, because the last thing we want to do is get all the way up there and then find out it's closed. So that's the next job. Right, okie dokie. This is the map that our man downstairs gave us. This is the larger of the two towns called Kalambaka. This is where we got the training. And then we got a taxi along here to our town here, which is Kastraki, and our hotel is there. So there are 6 monasteries open to the public. The big one up top, and then 2 smaller ones close by. 1 in the middle, and then 2 over here. So that's 2, 1, and 3. So all we've got to do now is establish which ones are open on which days. It changes according to the season and day of the week. So we'll have a look at that, concoct a plan, and go from there. I tell you what, when you've spent the majority of your adult life being a drunken disgrace, asleep on the floor, pissing yourself on the floor, just being an absolute knob, and, you know, constantly being a disappointment to everyone you love and care about, when you move on and leave all that shit behind, I can't believe that I'm feeling so positive about looking at fucking monasteries. Who would have thought it? I just can't believe how excited and happy, and I've just got such a good feeling about this. I really have. The hotel's brilliant. I said, we've figured out the buses, we've got a map. That's all we need. Right, there's a nice little walk apparently, which doesn't look too painful, starting here at the hotel and then goes around these rocks. Right, we're on our way to dinner, and I formulated a plan you'll be relieved to hear for the monasteries. It wasn't quite as easy as I was hoping, because each monastery is open different days and open different times, but I've sorted it. Right, monastery number 1, Holy Monastery of St Stephen, Holy Meteora. Like I said, check the opening hours. They close and open again. And also, please show respect for the Holy Meteora and into the Holy Monastery, dressed accordingly. I tell you what, you know when you look at Instagram and you think, it won't look like that in real life. Well, this does. It is bang on. Right, I, like you, I'm completely in the dark now. I don't know which bits we're allowed in, which bits we're not allowed in, etc, etc. We're just going to have a go. Let's figure it out. One very pleasant surprise is that we appear to be the only ones here. Don't know why that is. I mean, it is off season. It's the end of March now, beginning of April. But I would have thought there'd be a few more people here. It's literally just me. I haven't seen another person yet. We are going in. This bridge is brilliant. The whole thing's brilliant. I haven't even gone in yet and I'm blown away. This is how close I got before my first telling off and my first warning about what to film and what not to film. That's one angry lady. I haven't done anything wrong yet. She said, strictly no filming inside the museum or the church, and let's face it, we're not going to go in the museum, sod that. And I'll obviously respect the rules and regs for the church. I'm not disrespectful in that sense. Hopefully that'll be the end of that. So this is the first thing you see, a nice courtyard. Right then, we'll just have a wander, see what happens, see what we can discover. So this is the entrance here, that's the courtyard. Down here is the church where you're not allowed to film, where all the angry nuns are. And you've got some information about the place there. Then you come out here, hang a right, and you've got the museum there, where you're not allowed to film. And I'll go one better and not even go in there. Museums ain't my bag. And then have a look at this. Wow, that is serious. Listen, I'm going to level with you. As always, complete honesty. I just saw this place on Instagram, honestly. I just followed some travelling group and it just popped up and I was like, I'm going there. So I instantly went on Google Maps, pinned it with a green flag, and now about 6 months later, I'm here. Sometimes you just got to do it, haven't you? And it does look exactly as it is like it looks. It is absolutely incredible. Even for someone like me who is about as least religion orientated as you could possibly imagine, it's worth coming up just for the views. And there's no denying how spectacular, and what a job building them. What the hell? Monks built them apparently just on rope ladders. Unbelievable place, it really is. Can't believe how moody these nuns are. You know what I mean? So moody, man. They keep looking at me funny and like, I don't know, looking at me disapprovingly. I'm like, well, you took my €3 easy enough on the way in, so pipe down and leave me alone. We had a good run. Now there's loads and loads of people, so that's our queue. As usual, turning up first thing has paid off. We had a good half hour there just to ourselves. I'll have a quick look in that church and report back to you, and then I think we'll head on to the next one. As if there's a gift shop. Always a gift shop, isn't there? Right, I consider that to be a great start. Getting that 9 o'clock bus was a good move. They go from, like I said before, 9, noon and 3 p.m. I'm always a big believer in getting in there early. The bus costs €1.60 and basically just goes round and round all day, and you can get off and it comes back here at 2:40. I don't know what we'll do about that. Maybe we'll catch it back down, maybe we'll walk down. I wonder which one of those two things we're going to do. That church in there, by the way, was absolutely extraordinary. Shiny, colourful, brilliant. It was just so full of tourists. I was just like, oh. I was only in there for about 20 seconds, but it was a nice 20 seconds. Right, that's the one we've just done. That was the first one, St. Stephen's. And now we're on to its next door neighbour, which is there, and that's Holy Trinity. We're going to walk along this road. I'll tell you what, I'm so relieved about the weather. I really am. It was so cloudy yesterday. I was really had my fingers crossed for a bit of sunshine today, and it's really come good. It begins. FFS. Don't know what else I expected. I'm not complaining. It's the only way to get up. We have reached the top. Thank goodness. There's nothing to say you can't walk on here, so I'm just going to go for it. What a view. There are no signs anywhere saying you can't film, so I just did. Random door check. Locked. So quiet. Got the whole entire place to myself. This one's only small, though there's not really a great deal to see, apart from the little church and the patio outside. But monastery pop. Just been sitting here pondering for a little while. So nice and cool in here. Bit spicy outside now, so the monks had that sussed. This is cool. A winch with a line going over here to this hook. This is obviously where they brought things up. Ooh, that is high. So when they wanted something bringing up, that hook would go down and these gates would open. The governor would be standing over here and he'd probably say, Avanti. And then some poor bastard back here would have to stick his piece of wood in here, or in these holes, and start winding. And it actually does still move a little bit. He'd wind that up, hating his life. And then it would appear on these tracks, drag it and drop it there. Boom shakalaka. Tell you what though, what a nightmare that must have been. Is that a monk using a hose pipe? So high. Right, it's time for us to get back on that path, back up to that road, make our move. On the train on the way here, I got chatting to a family of 4 who were coming here for the day from Athens on the train. That train takes 4 hours and 4 hours back. And I'm like, good God, what are you gonna try to see? They were like, oh, what if we can? I'm like, what? God damn, what an awfully hurried day that must be. That is not the way to do it in my opinion. You've got to book a hotel and see all 6 for me. Because they open up really weird times, like I've said a couple of times, you know. I could do another one now. I really could. I'm in the mood, I could do another one, but the problem is that half of them close at 2, half of them are closed today. And then some are open from like 9 till 12 and then they close for 4 hours and they're open for like an hour in the evening. It's really, really difficult. So that's why I had to formulate the plan. So we're going to stick to the plan, we've done 2. And I'm going to see if that guy with that coffee's got any ice creams going, because I'll tell you what, and give me a left nut for one. He's not the sharpest tool in the box, that bloke. He doesn't sell ice cream, standard. And then he tried selling me a packet of peanuts for €5. I was like, what are you on, pal? He was like, no, please. And I'm like, what? I asked you for ice cream, and now you're trying to sell me a packet of nuts for €5. I'm like, see you later. Just found this path, which takes you along the edge, which is a little bit spooky, but it'd be right. Along this path out to that outcrop. I'm hoping that from out there I can get a cool picture of the monastery. Let's have a look at it. Wow. Be sure to mind your footing. Look at that for a drop. Steady. Well, I got my photo, but I tell you what, I am far from comfortable being this close to the edge. It's really weird, like 1 minute I'm fine, And then the second I actually think about where I am, I get a bit panicky and my legs feel a bit weird. So there it is. What a place. Right, Vaminos, back to safety. So this is where we were just standing, over there on the edge of that. I'll tell you what, woof, can't believe I did it now looking at it. We were just about there, not to be repeated. I was proper shitting myself, you know, I really was. Right, time for me to head back to the hotel, wait for this bus, and go through the 2,000 photos I've taken. Morning. Right, monastery number 3. We're doing 2 more today. This one is called Valam, and the novelty of this place still hasn't worn off. Right, let's get crack-a-lacking. Straight in there. Looks like we're the only ones here again. So let's take advantage of that. So high up here. How on earth did they cope building these things? I wonder how many people died. If you fall off here, you're not coming back up 100%. It's got a gorgeous courtyard here. It's massive with one hell of a view, looking all the way over down to another one down there. We're going there tomorrow. And then there's some nice little gardens teetering on the edge here. Look how steep, and look at that drop. It's wild, isn't it? So well looked after, it's class. Hey, ups. Is that a monk with a cup of tea? That monk with that cup of tea just then, he came out and held his hand out, and 2 gardeners walked over and kissed his hand. That's what led me to believe he was a monk. But then he whipped out his mobile phone. I mean, I know it's 2022 and all, but monks walking in their own gardens with hose pipes, having a cup of tea and sending a text on a mobile. That isn't what I thought monks did. Is he a monk?
Yes, a big monk. Yes.
A big monk? They're allowed mobile phones then?
10 monks.
10 monks? 10. But he's allowed his mobile phone to make calls. Who pays his bill?
The bill? Yeah, the monastery.
The monastery pays his bill? Yeah. That's all right. It's a nice perk, isn't it?
There is a WhatsApp.
He uses WhatsApp. You've got Wi-Fi?
10 euro for the month.
Yeah, what a good do. So yeah, that is a monk. Just walking around chilling in his slippers with a cup of tea and his phone. Tell you what, I've gone from thinking being a monk is like a huge sacrifice to thinking it's a good little gig. This room is incredible. My carpentry teacher at high school will be well impressed with all these carvings. That's the church back there, prohibited, strictly prohibited from filming in there. I went and had a look, it was beautiful, it really was. All the paintings and golds and colours, very similar to the one we went into yesterday. Right, that's the Valam Mosque ticked off. We are moving now to St Nicholas now. Yesterday, I had to get the bus back, only because it was an absurdly far distance away. Those two, St Stephen's and Trinity, are the furthest most point away from our town. It would have taken us, well, Christ knows. I think that's the first time I've said that. I'm doing well. Right, where was I before I blasphemed in a monastery full of monks? Today, on the other hand, we're in our neck of the woods. We've got this one here and another smaller one tucked down the side of it called St Nicholas, and I've just spoken to a guy who explained that there's a shortcut. So instead of taking that road all the way around and back down again where we come up, we can take a little shortcut, like a little hiking trail, straight down the hill. So that's what we're going to do. Right, that's the bridge we came in on, and our man in the gift shop says that this here is the start of the path down to St Nicholas. I hope he's right. Hey, look at that. That's the monk-mobile. It's like a cable car transporting someone from the top. Maybe it's that monk, maybe he's off to local pubs to watch the football. Sounds about right, doesn't it? There it is, St Nicholas, that's where we're heading. I've got to be honest with you, it's a lot further away than I thought. And just for reference, that's the one we just come down from, down this path. Seriously, it's a lot further away than I thought. Right, we've arrived. About time too. Don't get me wrong, it was a lovely walk. Just a little longer than I anticipated. Just a pretty tough climb for a big lad. Sick of it now. This is proper painful. I'm hating it, to be honest. Whew. Boy, that was taking it out of me, that has. Nice to just get up here. It's tiny, this one. Really intricate. State-of-the-art pulley system here. All mod cons. Ooh. Bit of maintenance going on. Yeah, it's very nice up here. Roof terrace, and then between these two rocks where they meet in the middle, you can see poking its head through is the Roussanou Monastery where we started today. And then moving around, that's our town of Castracci, the smaller town of the two, with Kalambaka tucked around the corner. And that's where we're walking to next, back to the hotel. Oh, God, it looks like a long way again. I'm up for it though. It's somewhere in the middle of that lot. I think it's around there somewhere. See some ruins there from one that must have collapsed. I tell you what, I'd be well pissed off if I was a monk with all that racket going on. Right, that's another 2 ticked off. Time to start the walk. I'll do. Right, we're waiting for the bus, as we do every morning, and we've only got one monastery to see today, and it's quite local. And again, it's walkable back, so we'll get that rattled off probably within a couple of hours, and then I've had an idea. Oh, yes. We're gonna go look at some Hermit Caves. They're on a hiking trail, which I'm gonna try to find. They're featured in James Bond film. Shut up. Right, what I was trying to say before that bird rudely interrupted us repeatedly is that we've only got one monastery to see today called the Roussanou Monastery. We've just arrived. I'm just waiting for it to open. Then we're going to do a hike to find some hermit caves, hopefully. They were in James Bond, Live and Let Die with Roger Moore, and also the inspiration in Game of Thrones for a setting called Eerie or something. I've seen the whole lot of Game of Thrones, but the days of me trying to remember and understand and repeat the words that were involved in that production are just long gone. They confused the hell out of me. Anyway, we're on it. This is the one we're doing today, the Roussanou one. Then across the valley up there is the Varlum one, which we did yesterday. Then we walked downhill to do the Nicholas one down there. You know, even after a few days, still just can't get my head around what's going on here. I mean, it's just crazy, innit? Just look at it. Can't stop taking photos. It's going to take me ages to go through them all. Avanti, up we go. Look how far I've come, and I'm already knackered. Whew, this gets the juices flowing. This will wake you up, this. Hey, just one, please. Hard work. I'm not complaining, no. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? I knew what this would entail. All you've got to do is take one look at them and think, well, there's only one way of getting up there, and that's steps. But in all honesty, I'm just not the most healthy of people, as you might have gathered, so it's a bit of a struggle for a big lad, to be honest, but I'm getting there. And I tell you, it always feels really nice when I get to the top. The monastery doesn't open for the 20 minutes, apparently, so she recommended I keep walking up to the top of here, apparently, past the monastery. There's a panoramic viewing platform, so that's where we're headed, providing I don't keel over before then. This is rapidly turning into a piss take. Her down there, it's just up there. That's what she said, just. You know what? I hate it when people just throw around the word just. It's like at the airport, innit? You know, when you buy a bottle of water at the airport, you take it to the checkout. You beep, that's just £3, please. Oh, just £3 for some fucking water. Oh, I think I'm nearly there now. We have reached the top. Hate to admit it, but it certainly was worth it. Don't do it, Kat. Got so much to live for. I know it's tempting. I thought about it on the way up. I was that tired. Just don't do it. I'm gonna have to be really, really careful here. To be honest, I'm surprised they even let this happen. I'm surprised there's no railings or anything. Just, whoa, it's close enough. Just have a look at that. That's where we're headed, but not just yet. I'm just enjoying sitting here for now, taking it all in. This is living, L-I-V-I-N. Well, what a pleasant, unexpected start to the day this has been. Not that walk up, that was no bueno. That was a bit too much, I was starting to get a bit rattled about that. But, wow, I can't recall ever seeing a view like this before. I've seen beautiful views, but not ones with these just magical rock formations everywhere. And monasteries on top of them. I mean, what on earth? Boy, oh boy, do I love travelling. It's just my everything, it really is. Nothing makes me feel like this, other than travelling. Pure happiness. Snooker's close, but I think travelling just pips it for the number one spot. Once again, we've nailed the timing. Coach party just arrives as we're leaving, so how good's that? Perfect. Right, back down to the monastery. So grateful to have that viewing platform all to ourselves. That's where it is up there. Loads of people up there now. And as we were leaving, 2 more coaches pulled up, so it's obviously a popular stop-off point. Just one, please. Thank you. The good news and bad news. The bad news is that some fun sponge nun won't let me ring that bell. I've just asked her, and she said I wasn't allowed. But she said I was allowed to ring this, whatever this thing is. That's shit in comparison to that bell. This is a lot smaller than the other ones. And ironically, it seems the most popular, which is our cue to leave. Not much doing on this one, to be honest. Can't believe how many people have come to this one. The other ones, the bigger ones, where there's loads to do and loads to see, were quiet. There's nothing in that one. Everyone's piling in. Maybe it's just pot luck with a coach being arriving or something. Maybe it's because of the extensive church. There's a really big church inside that one. I'm not allowed to take photos or film in there, so I had a quick peep, and it is impressive, but very, very similar to the others. In fact, they're all virtually identical, to be honest. I don't mean any disrespect by that, but it's just a fact. I mean, honestly, if I took a picture of all 6 of them and lined them up in front of a monk or one of the nuns and said, right, pick out yours, I don't even know if they'd be able to do it, to be honest. They're that similar. I've been asking around a bit, and I've got 2 spots in mind for these Hermit Caves. We're just walking down the hill now, back down towards Castracci. 2 little back paths leading to hiking trails, which hopefully will deliver, but we'll see. We are on the path. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, that looks like I set it up, doesn't it? I slipped the second I pressed record, and that was not on purpose. It's really not easy to walk on at all, this. Just trying to keep my eyes peeled over to the left for these Hermit Caves. Apparently that's where they are. Yes, this is what we were after. Found them. Have a look at them. Still got some of the wooden structures inside, like hermit balconies and barriers to stop them falling out, I'm assuming. They are aces. Looks like something from Grand Designs, doesn't it? Like some billionaires just decided one day, you know what, go and make me a house in that rock. As if someone's left a school bag. What an error. I am pooped. A couple of Ks there and a worn out staircase. And then check this out. Look at that. Isn't that something? These holes remind me of eye sockets in a skull. And look at this. How random is that? A front door. This is someone's front door. With a welcome mat. And a buzzer. I wonder if they had Jehovah's Witnesses back then. It's a long way up here to get told to get lost. I had a quick read up this morning before I set off about what's the difference between a hermit and a monk, just out of interest. And from what I can gather, there's not much difference apart from hermits live solo. They're complete recluses. And monks live in a community. That's all I can gather from it. But what came first? The hermit or the monk? That's the real question. It's like chicken and an egg all over again, isn't it? Nobody knows, and probably never will. So those hermits climb up those rocks to spend the rest of their life as recluses in solitary confinement with 2 buckets, hopefully. One for food and one for... all in a desperate bid to be closer to God. Each to their own. Hermits, you do you. Tell you what though, full marks for effort. Just like my GCSE results, I imagine. A for effort. Always got an A for effort, but when the results came, it was more like a D. It's our last day in Meteora, and we've saved most certainly the biggest and arguably the best till last, the Grand Meteora Monastery. Look at the size of that. Can't wait to get in there exploring. Oh, just got up to this terrace and I've just seen this, look, the kitchen. Bloody hell. How amazing is that? I bet many a flavourless broth was made in here. There it goes. The monkmobile. They must wait for the wind to die down before they send anything over in that. People are so windy up here. Must be terrifying going over that gorge. I've seen one of these in every single monastery we've been to. I can only assume that they were used for hitting a bell, you know, like pulling it back and hitting a bell with. I think this is the highest we've been yet. Oh. We've got to walk down there. Miles away, innit? I reckon our hotel is somewhere down there. Do you have to think how long that's going to take us? It's very, very obvious this is the biggest one. It's massive, but there's so many areas you're not allowed in, which is a shame. Oh, to have a skeleton key. Just wander around and just look through all these doors you're not allowed in. I bet there's some right hidden secrets. And jewels. Ah, jewels. That was, without doubt, the creme de la creme. Rolls Royce of monasteries. Not just here, but I imagine pretty much anywhere. I mean, I can't see that being beaten by any monastery. Just past a long line of grannies struggling up the stairs, but they were so determined. It was so sweet to see. I really wanted to say something like, "Go on, grannies, get up there, girls." But I didn't. There's a time and a place, Al. And now we continue our descent. Back in its finest hour, when this monastery was flourishing, in the 16th century I think it was, I believe there was 300 monks up here. Now there's only 3. And I hope they're careful up here on this terrace, because when this wind gets up, it could easily blow one over the edge, and then that's a nightmare. That's 33% less monk. Nobody wants that. More monks the better, if you ask me. Okie dokie, I've managed to source myself a feta pie, an Old Faithful, black Americano, very tasty. And I'm just going to sit here for a few moments and soak up this view one last time. Then we shall start our descent down to Castracci, where we shall up anchor and head on to our next port of call. What a good do, Meteora.